Hello, guys. Welcome to a brand new episode of the best podcast, aka the best tennis podcast, aka the best niggas in town, Black Spin Global. I am Lucy.
I'm Eugene.
And hi, guys. And we also have our favorite guest, friend of the pod, MVP, best journalist out there, aka the mentor, the guy,
Oh man.
Tumaini.
Hey, indeed. Make sure you say correct.
Correct, guys.
Hello.
I found out not too long ago that all these years I've been pronouncing this guy's name wrong. He has not been saying.
Been too polite to say, like,
I didn't say a word.
He didn't say
so
anything.
mad.
So now at least we know Tumaini.
Yeah, but I ain't no mentor. I ain't that old.
Listen, take the praise, man. Take the praise.
I call him my mentor, guys, because he's out there and I'm waiting with it. Yeah, showing us the way, but he doesn't like it. But in my head, I'm calling him my mentor.
So yeah, no, guys, it's been a while. Like, obviously, we've had Wimbledon, which is the big event, with no ranking points. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to focus on for this episode. So I think there's only one. To be fair, let's actually start by how we usually start. How are you doing, Lucy? Like, how have you been, like, coping in this heat, for one, and just in general?
Listen, I'm tired of people complaining about it's too hot. Okay, cool. Like, it's hot, but I will take this over winter any day. Winter, you can't dress like a thot. You can't be outside with a hose. It's summer, guys. Like, come on, enjoy it. So yeah, I'm good. Work is good, life is good. My birthday is very soon, So Leo season approaching, shout out to all the Leos, But yeah, I'm great. I'm good.
And Tumaini, how you been doing?
I'm doing nothing, man. After the last few months, I'm just chilling. I'm not leaving my house. Well, no, that's not true. But I'm spending time at home. But I'm good.
It's been a manic 2 weeks for you, like,
because
of being at Wimbledon, and obviously before then you were in Paris as well, like, been non-stop. So it's good to hear that you've been, like, chilling, much well-deserved rest. And yeah, I'm good as well. I know you're going to ask me, Lucy. I'm good. Very happy at the moment. Life is very good for me. Like, let's just say that. Chelsea signing all the players as well. I don't know if you realize, like, I've been liking Chelsea tweets on the Blackspin account. So, like, we signed Sterling, and now Kalidou Koulibaly.
Oh, that's where he's going, because I knew he was leaving City. Was it? Because I don't watch
Sterling.
Yeah. But I didn't know where he was going. I thought he was just chilling. I didn't know, like.
But Koulibaly, Lucy, that's one of your countrymen. So
Koulibaly.
Exactly. You need to be supporting Chelsea now. He's a blue. So yeah, life's good, man.
No.
Which team do you support, Tumaini?
Arsenal. I'm an Arsenal.
Oh, you're an Arsenal guy. Oh, okay,
yeah.
See, Eugene, I kind of have to be an Arsenal guy because my dad's an Arsenal guy. So
there are no Senegalese players playing for Arsenal, Lucy. let me just tell you that right now. Chelsea have two, in Mendy, the goalkeeper, and now Koulibaly. So
okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Get familiar. But yeah, guys, let's get into it. So I think there's only one place to start, and I think we are going to start there. Let's start with the winners first. But the winner I want to start with is Angella Okutoyi of Kenya. So she won the girls doubles title with her partner Rosemary Nijkamp from the Netherlands. And yeah, they beat the Canadian pair Victoria Mbuko and Kayla Cross. And I want to say Mbuko and Cross, they also were in the Australian girls doubles final earlier this year. So to make, like, Grand Slam finals, like, they're definitely a team. But just to bring it back to Angela, she's the first Kenyan, she's the first Grand Slam winner from Kenya, which is, like, huge. And, like, she's 18 years old. Obviously now she's going to be transitioning over to, the senior tour soon. But just a great moment, like, for Kenyan tennis and African tennis. Like, and I did send a tweet on that Saturday, because they played on the same day as the women's final. And obviously we'll get on to Jabeur and Alina Rybakina, but just a nice moment there, like, for African tennis, and, like, obviously Angela coming through, like, yeah, well, what are your what did you guys think? Like, if we start with you, Tumaini, first, actually.
Yeah, it's just like it's another kind of step forward. Obviously, earlier this year in Australia, she was the first Kenyan to ever win a Grand Slam singles junior match, and I don't know, just from like kind of it being a big step for her just to be in these events, and given also her backstory, I think she was her mother died when she was, I think, like during childbirth, and she was brought up by her grandmother.
She's a twin as well. Yeah,
and I think she was in an orphanage at some point, and so like her story in general, like the fact that she made it to this, just competing in these tournaments is a huge achievement. But then to come and win the doubles is obviously another step forward. And I don't know, yeah, now, and it's gotten quite a lot of attention as well, which for her sake should hopefully help to open other doors for her as well, as she tries to transition into the top of the sport, into the professional tour. And yeah, it was just cool. I went to the champions dinner, and I was like, and it was, I mean, you can imagine what it's like,
like flex there. You my guy was the champions dinner, like, yeah, just
yeah, but like, that it's obviously very few, mostly just white people, and I saw like her little contingent, and I don't know, it was nice to see just the little, the Kenyan contingent just there, like just living.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's obviously like I think it's like an impact from what I've read. Like it's had an impact in Kenya with people wanting to possibly wanting to invest more in tennis. Whereas Kenya's more of kind of a running country in terms of sports. So yeah, hopefully that's like it puts tennis on the map there as well, and gives opportunities for people behind her and also for herself.
Yeah, no, well said. Lucy, your thoughts?
Listen, it's the African people live only. I'm always happy for anyone to win, but for a Black African to, like, someone who's actually representing African countries, completely different. Obviously we've spoken a lot of times on the pod how there's really not a lot of opportunities for Black people in Western countries in terms of tennis. So seeing that tennis can have like such an impact or interest in actual African countries is actually just perfect. And I hope it just keeps on doing that. It just keeps on, like, I'm hoping a little kid her age from somewhere from Africa, whether it's Kenya or not, saw that and was like, you know what, maybe I can actually do this. That's what the win meant a lot for me. And you can see that she was very happy as well, like with her post, like you can see that she was extremely proud. And I just want her to take in that moment and just realize that, it's not really up to her to make that change, but she is, like, she's part of it.
100%. Yeah,
she's part of it. So yeah, man, shout out to her team, her partner. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see. I just hope that she just keeps on playing and just enjoys it and takes it all in, because she's literally like one in a very few to get to where she is. Like she even had issues with the funding, remember, as well. Like she's been through, like she's been through quite a few things for her to get to where she is. For her to win is actually amazing. Like it's honestly.
Big. Yeah, no, but well said again. I also want to like touch on a few things both of you just said, like in terms of what does this mean for Kenyan tennis? And she touched on it herself, like during her speech. So she was like, oh, she wants to see more like Africans and Kenyans like playing tennis. Like, and I think that is like, that's something that we all want to see. Obviously, like me on this platform, and like the kind of main reason why I created this platform was to basically, in the long term, see an influx of like Black players coming through, like at all levels. So now to have Okutoyi like be a Kenyan and a Grand Slam champion, like it's huge. And I also want to touch on as well, like the fact that Mbuko, she's Canadian, like she was born in Canada, but her roots are Congolese, like her parents are Congolese.
Right. Okay.
So like there's that as well, like which I love. And a lot of players have African like heritage. We can look at Frances Tiafoe, his parents, Sierra Leone.
Like Sierra Leone,
or
even Caribbean.
Felix Auger-Aliassime, his dad's Togolese. Like, so there's a lot of players out there that have, you know, dual kind of like heritage. The Immer brothers, Ethiopian, Swedish. Like, it's just nice to see that. So yeah, hopefully we see more of it. And obviously Okutoyi is a name that we will definitely be keeping an eye on and looking out for.
And I get, well, just to add on that, like, as Lucy said, like, it's obvious it is different from African countries, and I'm kind of desperate to see an African player break through. I don't know if it's true, but it feels like to me that they're more and more doing well in juniors, whether it's obviously people you've talked about a lot, Eliakim Koulibaly, Kolo Monsi, Sada Nahimana, but obviously it's very tough, like making that transition to see, you know, professionals is kind of another challenge in itself. And you know, you want to see that them get more funding, you know, whether it's from, you know, from their countries, but also from the ITF, from, you know, different parts of the tennis world that can help to invest in African players, and that hopefully at some point, you know, one of them will be in the right conditions to make it onto the main tour and kind of bring about even more change. Like we've obviously seen it with North African Jabeur, who I'm sure we're going to talk about. But I'd like to see it with also Black African players in the future.
100%. Well said. Again, yeah, completely agree with that. And on to that nice transition there onto Jabeur, our North African sister. So yeah, she was the runner-up, as we're all aware now. But I did think it was funny. Like, obviously, Alina Rybakina, fair play to her. Like, she was born in Russia, but yet this year Wimbledon banned Russian and Belarusian players. But yeah, Rybakina now represents Kazakhstan, and that's an issue. To be honest, I'm not really quite sure the reasoning behind that. I think it was funding, or they just. Maybe you can explain, Tumaini, like why.
So I think like her family wasn't wealthy at all, and she was talented, but not one of the most obviously talented players. I think she was always like, she made it to number 3 in juniors, so she was talented, but the Russian Federation didn't give her any support or much, I think any support actually, or any money or anything like that. And I think they've done that with a lot of players. And so I think Kazakhstan in general, dating back to like 2007, they realized they wanted to become more of a tennis power, and they realized that there are all these like talented Russian players who weren't getting the funding they needed to, you know, to further their careers. So they kind of started to offer them citizenship and offer them money and, you know, and resources and support in return for citizenship. So, you know, players like her and Putin Saver and Bublik, they all kind of were Russian and then turned, and Rybakina is obviously the most talented one. And so it's funny that of all the players who should win, it's in this year.
Fascinating.
But but also I think like it does seem like she's very, I don't know, it's complicated, but also I think she is kind of, it does seem like she's genuinely grateful that they saw something in her and that they invested in her in a way that Russia weren't. So in one way it's like a transaction that she changed her nationality, but I think there is some like kind of that pride and satisfaction. You know, it's not like she's, you know, she's born in Russia and she was Russian, but it's not like she's, I don't know, she feels some kind of pride in how it's turned out and the help she's received.
Do you think that's why she wasn't really showing like a lot of emotion? Because a lot of people were pointing out how like she won the Grand Slam and she was just like, I think that was hard. Do you get what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. I rate it so much. Like everyone, like I get why I was shocked as well. And like I was like, okay, guys, I can understand why everyone is shocked because it's Wimbledon and stuff. But when you actually deep down and think about it, that's actually so hard. What she did, like, I won.
Like it's on 250.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that must have pissed him off even more. But do you reckon that's why she was acting that way, or just because her coach did say that because they kept on mentioning to her coach as well, like, oh, she's not excited. But then he was like, listen, she's just a very humble, introverted person in general, blah. But now I kind of feel like I think she knows the spotlight that's on her with the whole politics and stuff. But
I think that was not like it. Like in all the press conferences, she was constantly getting asked about Russia and like, are you Russian?
Sorry, Tumaini. How do you feel about that as well? Like, because I know you didn't ask any questions like that.
Yeah. Like the thing is, I feel like some of the questions were valid. It was just like the problem with tennis is that no one gave a fuck about her in the, you know, their questions to be asking someone in the first round. I don't know, like saving them all for, you know, you just win a slam and then you get asked like 10 questions about, you know, your nationality. I don't like that, you know. I think people deserve to have their moment and not have it, you know. I don't know. I feel like there's a time and place, and the problem with tennis is that people only cared when she was in the final, when she was winning the title. So I guess another thing is that like she was asked a ton of these questions like in the quarterfinal, and then these like people, I don't know, a lot of it was like actually not people who aren't tennis journalists, like at the slams and particularly at Wimbledon, where they're also like news journalists, like tabloid journalists as well. And so,
but yeah, we can't get accreditation.
I was just about to say
next year that's changing.
Wimbledon, please. Hello, come on. You gonna let these tabloids come, but not us.
Sorry.
But so that's the problem where like some of these questions were asked like in earlier rounds, but then new people come in and ask the same ones. And so I think that, I mean, that's something that I think like one of Osaka's issues was with like those kind of people, the people who completely aren't familiar with like how things work and just constantly, you know, ask the same question. So
and to Lucy's point about like Rebecca's personality, because I didn't, to be honest, I've known about her, like I've seen her play. Obviously she beat Serena last year at the French Open. Do you remember? Like, and I've kind of always thought, this girl's got game, but I don't know much about her, like in terms of personality. So like, if you could maybe tell us a bit more about that.
So I think she's very like, she never shows any emotion, and it was even less before. Like when she beat Serena, nothing, you know, when like, and that's kind of been a running joke as well. Like people asked her about it like in the past, and she was like, oh, you know, this is just how I am. Maybe one day I'm just gonna explode and you know, go crazy, but for now I can't do it. So I think that's just how she is. And I think you win a salmon, you're just like her celebration was like half smile, and then she just like wiped her face with her wristband, like, you know. not anyone could, you know, when everyone else is like throwing themselves on the ground, I respect
eating the grass,
you know?
doing
climbing up to the players' box,
climbing up to the play. She was just like
I think eventually she did go up to the players' box because someone told her like, oh yeah, go and celebrate with your team, like But on to so you're gonna say something else?
No, just I think she's cool. I think she's very talented, and she was like actually like she looked like she was breaking through in 2020, and she was one of the players who I think were really like COVID really like messed up her momentum. And then even though she like had that, you know, where she beat Serena last year, or she made the semis of the Olympics as well, she never really like found her like proper rhythm again, and was not, and in those like big matches she wasn't able to get her head together.
Because that's the thing, I get her mixed up. This is gonna sound so bad. I get her mixed up with Vondrousova. Like it's so bad because Vondrousova, I think Vondrousova beat her at the Olympics, didn't she? Or was because she didn't get a match. She didn't get a medal.
No. So she lost to Bencic, and then she lost Svitolina in the bronze medal match.
That's it. Yeah.
She came fourth.
So just to miss out on a medal, that's tough. But then now obviously she's a Grand Slam champion,
which is even worth way more than an Olympic
medal. I mean, I guess.
In tennis.
In tennis, you just don't want to say that because she's Madame Monfils.
No. But on to, did you guys watch? Obviously, you watched the final. What did you make of it? Like, it was a free set. It was quite tight.
Yeah.
I think Jabeur took the first set, and then we're back in a second and third.
That first set from Ons, it was right. Like she flew that. I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, we've got this. And then I don't know what happened, but that second set, it just went. I don't know if the nerves hit her. I don't know. Yeah, I think she was thinking too much. I think it was just too much. She was trying to find like too many different like solutions. And while she was going through that, her opponent was just getting better. And then she found her groove. And then by the time it was a final set, it was done.
Yeah. Because I think like with Jabeur, she has like obviously so many different shots, but sometimes it's like she doesn't. I don't know. She struggles to to simplify her game, and
that's it.
I think in the slam final there, she needed to kind of just step up and attack, but she kind of, after that first set, I think she got tired. She wasn't like feeling her shots. She was hitting too many drop shots and stuff, and like Rebecca just like steadied and just kind of hit her off the court. So it was tough. Like although she came out like really sharp, like it just was. She was too nervous, I think, to play properly play.
I think she realized I'm one set away from doing this, and then it just. And
again,
can we actually say that Tumaini actually did have Jabeur as his winning pick off record? When we were at Wimbledon, we did.
We'll get to that though. We'll get to that later on. But yeah, what a moment though! Like in terms of not just for Jabeur, but again, African tennis and the Arab world, which was kind of well publicized at the time. Like,
and it was Eid as well, the day of that.
Yeah, like for me, it felt like it was meant to be. Like she was meant to win that. Like everything kind of around it made sense. But I mean, I don't think. Again, Jabeur, we've spoken about her as well. Like recently, like she's very good vibes in terms of like just her personality and just the way she is. So even after the match, like obviously she was disappointed, but you can see she was proud as well, like of what she'd achieved, and rightly so. And I mean, she's gonna win a Grand Slam. There's no like two ways about that. Like at some point, maybe it's this year, maybe it's next, but I don't think that's gonna be the last time we're gonna see her like in a Grand Slam final. I just think, did you guys maybe think as well? Because this is me personally. I thought it was more significant the fact that an African was in the final than Rebecca winning, if that makes sense. Like, I think that kind of held more weight, like in just the grand scheme. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but
I mean, on Jabeur, I agree. Like, she's kind of put herself in the position to reach other finals again. Like, that was her fifth final in her last 7 tournaments, which is huge. Like, she won Madrid, obviously, Rome final, won Berlin as well. So like she's clearly the second best player in the world right now in terms of just her results. So that can be just, she's more than capable of getting there again. I think I even though like she kind of her draw wasn't the hardest, like she had quite it was clear from like round 2 or round 3 that like she had a huge chance. But I still love just how her going through the rounds and how significant it all felt in terms of her being, an Arab player, African player, and someone who can, I don't know, just again kind of inspire, other players to follow her. And although she's North African, it does seem like when she's like I don't know, she seems to be like an inspiration for players from all over Africa. You see like some of the other Black African players like posting on Instagram about her. You see like when she goes to certain African countries and all the different like people who are inspired by her, and so that's significant. And I think she's just a cool person. Like she took, that was obviously a brutal way like day for her, like losing the final, but the press conference was kind of like her press conference was really good, and she's just a nice, pleasant, normal person who has time for everyone, who, and everyone seems to like, you got Serena, picking of all the players in the world, people I'm sure she knows way more than Jabeur, but choosing her to play doubles with her, I think that says a lot. And I want to see more of her. She's as you said, like she's just good vibes, and you know, she's good vibes. She's a good like story, and you know, and
a great tennis player.
More exactly.
Yeah, she's actually good as well.
No, well said, guys. Let's now move on to the men. So obviously, you know that Djokovic was the winner, his 21st Grand Slam, 7th Wimbledon, I want to say. And he beat Nick Kyrgios in that final. It was a four set match. Again, decent. I was at work, but I had it on in the background. Like, good quality match though, I thought, from both men. I thought Kyrgios played pretty well. It was quite pretty well behaved, I thought, for most of it as well. Would you not agree with that? Or
compared to his usual?
Definitely. Yeah.
He didn't behave well, but compared to the usual shit, he definitely did.
He was
go on, sorry, Tumaini.
No, he was like, there was a lot of crying to his camp. Like, he was like, he's constantly like telling his camp, oh, you know, stand up, sit down, you
always
know,
something.
Morning. But like, compared to like he like the interactions with the umpire weren't really, you know.
Yeah.
It was toned down. Like, he knew he had to put some sort of lid on his behavior.
Yeah.
He's gonna get slapped out. So
I do want to shout out Paul Job, our guy. So Paul Job took him to 5 sets in the first round, and I said Paul was going to beat him. I don't know if you guys remember, but I had a feeling, and he very nearly did. Kyrgios came through, and like I think this has been a really good, or Wimbledon anyway this year. It's been a nice kind of like marker to kind of show like what he's capable of if he just like knuckles down. And I know a lot of people say, oh yeah, like certain players weren't there and like different circumstances, but like one thing you can't deny is like talent, especially in this sport, like, because literally you've got to beat the person in front of you, and that's exactly what he did, like, for those 2 weeks. I know obviously in the semi-final he didn't play because Rafa Nadal pulled out, or withdrew with his was it an injury or
ab injury?
That's it, the ab injury. But in saying that, like, that would have been a who's to say Kyrgios wouldn't have beaten Nadal, especially in Nadal's condition as well. So like, what did you guys make of like Kyrgios's kind of run, and also just like in terms of his ability? Like, do you think that that's his ceiling? Like, do you think he can maybe win a Grand Slam one day?
I've always felt like he can, but unfortunately, with the way he is and his drive, he's not going to.
Interesting.
So the fact that he made it to that Wimbledon, I've always felt like he will make it to semi-finals, Grand Slams, quarterfinals, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that he made it all the way to the finals was something that, I'm going to be honest, it really did shock me. Although I've always known that he loves Wimbledon and he always plays better there at all of the other Grand Slams, especially almost even all the tournaments as well. I never expected that. But then, like, before, I used to be a hardcore like Nick fan. I was one of them people that'd be like, yeah, he's good for the sport. Like, I'll put my hands up. I was one of them people as well, because I like chaos, like I've said. But it just shows to you the potential that he has. Like, and it's just annoying because you look at him, you're playing just like, bro, if you actually put your attitude down, focus on your game, got a good coach, got a good team, you're surrounded by good people, then you're good. But then again, I think Nick is actually very comfortable with the situation that he's in. I don't think he wants anything. I don't think he has that drive to do more. And he's just like, you know what, I'm made to do my job. And then that's it. And then there's certain tournaments. I feel like the two that brings the best out of him is Wimbledon and City Open. City Open is also another place where he really likes being there. He's very calm. I remember last year, look, I can't remember which year it was where he was.
So like, the City Open is in Washington.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
He's very, yeah. There's one, I think he even won one, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because that's where he asked the woman in the crowd, like, where to serve. That was
he's interacting with the crowd. He's playing with the kids. Like, he's very different. So I feel like those are the two, for some reason, he's really into. But I think he's always going to make it far, but I honestly don't see him winning. The fact that he even won a doubles Grand Slam earlier this year is even shocking. The fact that he's in the final,
Australia,
shocking. But I don't see him winning or having that even as a goal for him to win like a Grand Slam.
Interesting. And Tumaini, before we come on to you, like, because I watched a few of his like post-match press conferences, and one of the things that stood out for me was when he was saying how in Australia he doesn't really get much like love and support like from the veterans, like, and I found that really interesting, quite telling as well. I don't know if you can like maybe elaborate on that, or yeah, like if there's any, obviously there is kind of truth to that because that's what he's saying, but yeah, what's your view like on that stance like of his?
I mean, yeah, I think that people are, a lot of the former players are critical of him and publicly, and so I think like, I mean, he doesn't make it easy for himself. Let's say it, like, there's a lot to criticize. I'm sure some of them, you know, like with all like former players, some of them are opportunistic, and I don't know, some like having their name in the headlines, but I also think that like he's done a lot of things that are deserving of criticism, and I feel like sometimes he doesn't like he doesn't quite get why his actions have, you know, why his actions generate a lot of criticism, and that him drawing crowds doesn't like excuse the way he acts sometimes on the court.
Yeah.
But in general, like I do think like he like this Wimbledon was a tournament where it seems like he did kind of just do what he could do, most of what he could to be successful in terms of like he was saying that in past years, like when he played Nadal a few years ago, he was out drinking until like 4 a.m. and like you'd go to like there's a in Wimbledon Village like Dog and Fox and a few other pubs.
Yeah, you mentioned that pub. Yeah.
And you go there after play, and you just see him and a few other players there, you know, drinking and, you know, just doing stuff that you probably shouldn't be doing if you're trying to go deep in a slam at Wimbledon. And it seems like he handled his business, and, you know, even though he did get lucky, get some luck in terms of like Nadal, you know, withdrawing and also, I don't know, just the draw was just weird this year, but he kind of also made his own luck in it. So, you know, he put himself in the position, he won the matches. You know, he could have lost the job, but he found a way through. Like, I was impressed at some of the matches where, like, say, like in like the fifth set, was it the fourth round against Nakashima?
Yeah, I was gonna say Nakashima took him to 5. Yeah,
took him to 5, but he never like in that match. He was actually he never lost his cool. You know, he actually, you know, he kind of at some point he like stopped doing all the like the trick shots and just like he kind of grinded through that. And you never associate Kyrgios with like just putting the ball in the court and making your opponent beat him, making the opponent beat you. But that's what he did. But yeah, it was so on one hand it was like just nice to see that breakthrough. On the other hand, it was obviously, there was also, I should mention, man, the third round match against Tsitsipas that's one of the most chaotic. Did you guys see it? That was one of the most chaotic matches I've seen in my life.
Again, I was at work, but I had it on in the background, and yeah. Just pure drama. That's Lucy's kind of match, though. Lucy, no?
And it was chaos. Like it got, and he like his like antics, like he was trying to get, you know, Tsitsipas hit the ball into the crowd, and then he was trying to get Tsitsipas defaulted, and I've never seen like he kind of broke Tsitsipas's brain. I've never seen a player just like get so psyched out to the point where Tsitsipas was like trying to hit him with the ball. You know, like he spent like a set just going for his body, and I was like, you don't see that in a slam. But I mean, obviously, like the negative part is that he, like in the middle of the tournament, he had a domestic, you know, assault charge on his head. You know, he has to go to not apparently,
he's going to court.
It's summoned.
There's a court summons for start August 2nd for his ex-girlfriend Chiara Passari, who also posted like in last year posted a lot of stuff on like Instagram on her stories, just like accusing him of
I remember. See, that's the thing. I remember her posting those posts, but I wasn't really understanding what was going on.
Yeah.
Because I think even as she was posting, she was deleting some stuff as well. Not to like, I'm not trying to back him at all whatsoever. It's just that I'm just saying it because at that time, like I remember those posts. Like this is not new new news to me, but I didn't know it was that bad to a point where, you know, now he has to go to court. Like when I was reading those posts, I thought it was like the typical, not typical, but like it was like some crazy heated thing, but not to a point where she literally has to like go to court about this because he was basically
investigation. Yeah, I mean, it's not a great look on his part, that.
No.
And like you said, I think that makes it difficult to kind of warm to him. Like when, and so, well, I mean, main thing is that we'll see. Like, it's in a few weeks now. It's like 3 weeks, or less than that.
Literally, I think it's like the 4th or 5th.
2 weeks.
August,
and that obviously that would disrupt like his US like hardcourt summer as well. Like not ideal. Just quickly on Novak, I think we should give him some praise. Like,
excuse me.
Easy, chill. Chill, but listen, it's a big achievement. Like, 21 now. He's ahead of Federer.
Yeah,
one behind.
Nadal,
is it one? Yeah, one behind Nadal.
And two behind Serena Williams.
Of course. Any word on Novak and like just I mean it's been a tough year for him.
No. Do you know what? I did not think. No. Actually, sorry. I always knew he was going to win, but during the tournament, like I was just like, this guy. Even on the finals, I was just watching it. I was just like, this is not Novak. This guy has no. You guys have the entire slam. This guy did not give his 100%. This is not the Novak, and it made me even upset. I was like, guys, come on! Even when he's not even 100%, he's still beating everyone. Like, this is not fair. Like, do you get what I mean? But shout out to him, and that is what it is. He was my pick. I knew he was going to win it anyways. Like, Wimbledon is his baby. You know, he likes being there. Obviously, he plays great there. The one thing that I did see, though, that I will give him props for is, I think the next day after he won, his kids were running in the center court.
Yeah, I love that.
That is the best flex of all time. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I don't like you, but I rate that. That was some nice flex. Like, what? Some people can't even look at the center court, and your kids are running around on it. There's some players who played all their life. They don't even know what the center court looks like, but his little fucking kids are running around on it. Shout out to Novak and them kids right there.
I did like, actually, his son played a big role. Like, there was a lot of footage like of him and his son like warming up and training together. Yeah. So I thought it was really, really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tumaini, what did you make of Novak's run?
I mean, I do kind of agree. He didn't play his best tennis until the final. I actually did think, though, that I was actually really impressed with him against Kyrgios, because Kyrgios was like perfect in that first set. Like, he was flawless. And Djokovic just kind of like bit by bit just kind of broke him down. And I think he played actually thought he played really well, like towards like in parts in that final. But yeah, like it's actually mad that he has 7 Wimbledons now. That's like 20 years ago, like Pete Sampras had that number, and people probably thought that like no one was gonna really get that, ever, and he's just, and this is on his like second best surface. It's not even his best slam. So yeah, like it's mad like that he continues to win. I think also like because of his not being vaccinated, that whole situation, this was even like a bigger deal, because at the moment he still can't enter USA because they only allow vaccinated visitors, and also with Australia, as things stand, he can't apply for a visa for 3 years. That may be changed. Like the government, I think they're gonna like make a decision on it. But at the moment, the next slam he's allowed to enter the country for is the French Open in April. Yeah.
Do you reckon? Do you reckon the US will change their rule, but from now to
John McEnroe wants them to. He was saying,
he But I think, I mean, if they change it, it will be because they've decided like to change it for everyone. I don't think they'll give him an exemption.
Oh no, definitely not.
Because even some Chelsea players, they've so Ruben Loftus-Cheek and N'Golo Kante, Chelsea are in LA right now, but they've had to stay behind because they're not vaccinated, which I find crazy. So like, it's a thing. Like, it's tough.
To be fair, cases are going up anyway, so I won't be surprised if the rules don't change. But again, listen, at the same time, Novak said that he's willing to, you know, not play for certain things if that means he's not vaccinated. Yeah. So the same way they're making a start by saying, hey, unvaccinated people can't enter the country, it's the same way he also making a start by not being vaccinated. So the luck that he has is he has 21 Grand Slam. Like, do you get what I mean? It's not like he has 2 Grand Slams and he's like, oh, he has to worry about other people. He has 21 fucking Grand Slam. Nadal, he might retire this year. So like, honestly, like that's the luck that he actually has. He has that privilege, and he also, like, he's done a lot. He doesn't have any more like to prove to people. For him to go for everything that he's been through this year and still won Wimbledon is quite impressive. And this is coming from me, who's not his biggest fan at all. So
well said. It's like, well done, Lucy. I like that.
This is me, my journalist bag.
It's growth. It's growth. Like, I like that. But yeah, before we move on to like the black spin perspective, I want to talk about like our experience, because again, shouts out and courtesy of Lucy, we were there on the opening Monday, which is great, and like we linked up with you, Tumaini, as well. Just from my perspective, quickly, like I love being there, like in terms of opening day, like because you just get a whole sense of like, the occasion and the excitement. It's just all there in that one day. And I say the first few days I think we're like that, like opening rounds, but yeah, on that Monday, like we saw so much. Like obviously we saw Frances Tiafoe win his first round match, which was great, even though there was like a rain delay in between, which is, you know, always to be expected at Wimbledon. Who else did we see? We saw Elias Immer, Jay Clark as well, not Elias, sorry, Mikael Immer, Jay Clark.
We saw Elias.
We did see Elias, actually. We did, you know, shouts out. But yeah, like just a great occasion. And obviously Tumaini took us on a media tour, like felt very special with our wristbands.
I even still got the thingy.
Same. Memorabilia, you know. But bloody hell, that place is expensive. Like the money spent in that place, I don't even want to talk about. But yeah, Lucy, I'll start with you first. Like, what did you make of opening Monday this year at Wimbledon?
I said it out all of the times I've been Wimbledon. This time was my favorite. I had a blast. Like, it was fun. Opening day is definitely different. Like, you're seeing everyone, you're seeing the vibe, like it's full. But to me, the highlight was seeing so many more like black people. Like, I could not, shout out to all the black people except for Coon. Shout out to all the black people that were at Wimbledon. Shout out to you. Like, and the best thing that I liked was that whenever we saw like a black person, we were smiling at each other. There was some where we literally even said hi as if we even knew each other. It felt like a nice little reunion. I loved it.
I don't want to cut you, Lucy, but Afua Hirsch, so well-known journalist in the UK, and I'd say in America too. She was at Wimbledon this year as well. I don't know if you guys have seen her post. So she posted saying that it was great to be there, like at the slam that's like literally on her doorstep. One thing she mentioned, which I thought was fascinating and true, she was like, oh, like it was nice to see, you know, all the locals and stuff, but she was like, not many black people, and the black people she did see were mostly like staff, i.e. security or like cleaners. And I thought, you know what, that's a great point.
No, it's true. No. A lot of like the staff and stuff were definitely like, a lot of the uncles that I saw, they were like the staff and what. Remember, even when I was asking about the food, like the staff that asked after black girls, I was like, which food is best to eat? Because, you know, us black people, we know the food. But it's true. But as much that is very true, but as for someone who's been going recently a lot more, I've never seen this amount of like black people in at Wimbledon still. I'm not saying there shouldn't be an improvement. There's that 100%, but compared
It
to all
felt
the other
like
times
more.
I've been,
Yeah.
I have 100% seen more Black people, and I've seen more Black people my age. So even some of my friends saying, "Oh, I saw one of my boy that went." I even convinced like three of my friends to buy tickets. Some couldn't, because that's the thing with Wimbledon, because kind of last minute, like you have to,
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure a lot more people, if it was easier to get tickets, I'm 100% sure that a lot more of these people will be going anyways. But
Yeah.
we all know that's one of the reasons why they're making it harder, because they don't want everyone to go. They have their image of people that they want to go, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, us niggas, when we find the motive, we're gonna find it. And I'm telling you, it's gonna keep on increasing. Next year, there's gonna be a lot more Black people as well, and it will not be just a staff, honey. It will be us as well, coming with our Telford bags,
well, tell Feezy,
acting all cool and everything. And yeah, I need to go to Wimbledon more looking very nice, because I didn't know that people look at me like that. You never know, guys. I might find my sugar daddy.
You joker.
Because the amount of rich people in things, that's the only place that I see Birkin bags. You should ask Eugene. Every time I was like, Eugene, that's a Birkin.
Yeah, she's doing a lot of Birkin spotting on that Monday, definitely.
That is my thing. But honestly, I had a blast with Wimbledon. Hopefully next year we'll not be going as fans.
We there as media, accredited passes and everything. Tumaini, how did this year kind of differ, like compared to previous years, if at all?
I mean, I agree with like both what you said. Like Wimbledon is always like it's the contrast between the fans, I guess, and the people working here is always like stark to me, and how most of the time I only ever mostly see Black people and like the stewards and stuff. But I also agree that like there are more, like it felt like there are more Black people just around, even on like center court sometimes. And I think it's different. How's it different? I mean, personally for me, it was just different. It was different experience in general, just because this was my first like full Wimbledon working for the Guardian. Like last year I did it as well, but I felt like, because it was half crowds and there were a lot of limitations. So just like working in a team, it felt good. The whole thing felt good. Like it felt, I don't know, it felt like we were back. Like in terms of just being back at a proper full sporting event. But I was working in a team with all these other people that I had to.
I was going to say you weren't the only one for a change, like in terms of from your paper. Like there's a group of you.
Yeah. And so like I felt like I had to be like make myself available so people could come and ask me questions, and and ask for advice, which is kind of weird because
mentor.
See?
You can't get upset. See?
Yeah. But the whole thing was I enjoyed it. I enjoyed, that certain things seemed to like cut through in terms of like whether it was Kyrgios or his run or Serena at the beginning, or I don't know, there were certain things that just felt like so some like friends talking about that isn't always the case with tennis. But no, it was good vibes. It was good to be back there. There's a lot about Wimbledon that I don't like in terms of the elitism and shit, and just like the way tennis is presented in general. Like it was even worse. Like I went to Hurlingham. Like I don't know if I told you about this, but I went to Hurlingham, like the exhibition before Wimbledon, and man, that was even more like an exclusive club than Wimbledon.
So shouts out though to Hurlingham. Frances Tiafoe, he beat Alcaraz on the grass, which is nice.
Yeah.
I saw Felix was there too. Don't know. He played Novak and Rafa.
Yeah, I think he beat Rafa or took him to 3 sets. I can't remember, but he lost. He lost to Novak. So I was there on that day. He played Novak, and I swear it was me, Felix, and maybe one other Black person. We were the only Black people in the whole venue.
Are you being serious?
Serious. It was mad. I like, obviously I'm in these, like, I'm used to being like sometimes being one of the few Black people in the room, but that was like
different.
It felt like I was in Get Out. Not gonna lie. It felt like I was in Get Out. Because it's also like it's this like really like fancy like club, and like they have huge grounds, and it's like everyone's all dressed up in their like suits and white suits and shit, and I don't know, everyone clearly has money, like just mad money, and I was just like the odd one out. I was like, what am I doing here? I need to.
Oh my gosh! And they were proper, and I bet they were looking at you weird as well on top of all of that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but like,
who is this nigger?
Hard
nigger.
Stop it.
Who is this?
But like, it's just I wish tennis was just like promoted for everyone, and I don't know, it's so many, especially in London, like it's just whether it's Queens or Hurlingham or Wimbledon, like so much of it is about rich people being seen at this event and not like being available and open to everyone.
Image is a big thing, sadly.
Yeah.
But listen, man, we're going to change that. It's a process, but we're doing it step by step.
Next year, we're going to Wimbledon with Ray and nephews. Get what I mean?
Some yard flex. You joker. But yeah, I think we should get in before we wrap up, like black perspective now on Black Spin Global. And yeah, Tumaini, you touched on Serena. Obviously, she was ousted in the first round by Harmony Tan, who went on to reach the round of 16. So shouts out to Tan, but really good seeing Serena back. And like, obviously there was a whole Eastbourne thing, which we spoke about on previous pods, but yeah, I mean, one thing I didn't like though, and were you there for the Centre Court 100 celebration? Yeah. Like, why? Because Serena wasn't there. Do you know why? Like,
so there are some, like, I don't know if you saw all the tabloid, like, saying the tabloid said that I mean, it was on the Telegraph as well, that she
I didn't
ordered,
like that.
That she ordered like a ton of cars, and they didn't allow her to use them, like, after she lost. But and they tried to say that that's why she didn't show up. I actually don't, like, I'm not convinced about that. I think it's plausible. It's plausible that she asked for cars and they got rejected. I also think that I think honestly it's probably she lost. She didn't want to be back at that place. She lost. She's doing her own. I don't like. I was talking about this with someone. Like, it would have been nice if she was there. Like, but mainly just to see, like, the legends around each other.
Exactly.
Just to see, like,
because that's for me. That was the big thing for me. Like, the picture was great to see everyone, Federer and Nadal, and like all the past champions, Venus as well. But yeah, it didn't hit because Serena wasn't there, and Serena's won 7 of those. Like, come on, man. Like, so something was missing for me, big time.
Yeah, for sure. But like, also, like, if she just, like, she was like, fuck it, I lost. I'm staying with my family. I'm not coming to this place until next year. I don't know. Then
until next year.
So be it. Until next year. But we'll see. But I think, like, I don't have a problem. I actually don't have a problem with that. Like, she should, in general, like, Barty as well was. She was in St Andrews for the cricket.
Yeah, the golf.
Cricket. Then, same difference.
Yeah.
The golf, but she didn't come either. So, like, I don't begrudge any of them. If they're like, I've seen enough, I don't need to be here.
I really think Barty, though, sorry to cut, I think Barty's really she's on, like, this whole, like, you know what, fuck tennis. Like, I'm done with tennis. Like,
but to be fair, she was like that when she. Yeah, she was like that when she was playing as well. Like,
exactly.
She'd like when anyone would ask her, like, did you watch this match? She'd basically laugh in their face, like, do you think I'm watching tennis in my spare time? So I respect it. She's been on.
I respect it. Listen, especially after winning some Grand Slams as well. It's like that's some real nigga shit. It's like, like, I'm done. I've got my money. You guys gave me that exposure. Like, she's living life. She's helping kids. Like, she's like an author for like kids' book. She does charity stuff. She's playing golf. Like, she's literally just living a normal, good life and doesn't have to worry because of all the millions that she has. Like, I'm so sorry. I can never hate on that. That's the life I want to live. Did the bare minimum after doing everything. Do you get what? And it's not like she hasn't been working. When you're an athlete, since you're like, the moment you start walking, you're working. So it's not like she's only worked for a little bit and now she's rested. She's worked since she was a kid and now she's enjoying life, living a life with her fiance. I rate it. Shout out to Barty.
Yeah, shout out to Barty. But just on Serena again quickly, like, she's also playing Toronto, so she's on the entry list for Toronto, which is great to see. So yeah, hopefully, like, she puts together some, like, matches before the US Open and, like, can go on a run. Like,
like so with the actual match, it was. I had no idea what to expect. Her first single match after a year, and so in a way, like Serena Williams losing in the first round of Wimbledon is, that's, and any time that happens, that's not a good thing. But it was also kind of pleasant. I was pleasantly surprised with aspects of it. And if she'd had, I think she would have won that if she served for it. She was up a break in like every set, and she just kind of didn't have the head to finish it. So I think like that was pleasantly surprising. And in general, like one of the different things about Wimbledon was just like, first of all, like, so I thought it was pleasantly surprising. My takeaway from like the afterwards in her press conference was that, I think I asked her like if like the loss motivated her to continue, to hit the course again.
We quoted your answer, like the answer she gave. Yeah.
And like my takeaway was that just her saying like, if she feels like there's something there, the question is like if she wants to do it, like if she wants to actually commit to, being, doing the work required to be successful in tennis again, then she might have a chance of doing something. I don't know what that is, but she might have a chance. But the question I think is like, what, whether she's happy with life outside of tennis, or if she's kind of willing to still go through all the sacrifices. And so I think I believe she can say some things sometimes and not necessarily mean them, but I actually believe her when she says that she doesn't know like what she wants, but like doesn't know if she's willing to. But it seems like she's going to play out this summer and see where she is, and it's definitely like positive and pleasantly surprising that she's playing in Toronto. I thought she'd do like a quick Cincinnati US Open, but if she's playing 2 warm-up tournaments, then that's we'll see what she does. But also I was going to say like one of the differences was just being just seeing the Williams, so both in Eastbourne and then at Wimbledon, because that was the first time. Obviously they, Serena was there last year, but couldn't like properly interact with her. So it's the first time since like 2019 that we're like in the same room and around Serena and Venus properly. And so you had, it was just, I don't know, it was just cool as you guys, experienced too.
Facts.
And then and the Venus thing was just mad as well, because she'd said like before the tournament that she was not going to be at Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Like, she did the Instagram Q&A, and she was like, no, I'm not going to be here. And then she said that she got a bit inspired by Serena. She saw the grass and then just asked Jamie Murray to play mixed doubles with her, and that was like, that press conference was hilarious. I'm glad you can't hear it, but like, so I was with Ben Reffenberg, and we were both just, you saw the answer that went viral when she was like cutting out. We were laughing. We were both just like, she had like her hand, the hand on the hair, like
it was really, I was seeing Venus from Compton. Like that is what I was seeing. I was seeing Venus from Compton. I was like, this is the black excellence that I like.
And it's funny because like in the part, Venus you've seen her press conferences, like she obviously doesn't like them. Yeah,
she's like, she does not want to be. She'll just be like, yeah,
exactly. But I think it's probably partly like that she has a YouTube channel now. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she
content. She knows about content.
She knows about content, and she knows about like, I don't know, she's just probably more loose, and I think she's just a bit more loose, and so she like, instead of just like giving you nothing, she'll just give you everything. She'll tell you what she thinks, and so that was just weird to just be like around them again, and that press conference was hilarious as well. And it seems like she plans to play more singles, so it's just a bit mad that they're like over 40 and still playing.
Wow,
and still playing.
It's so mad. And like, I think what you said as well is so true about the Serena Tan match. Like, yeah, like Serena was just lacking match sharpness. Like if she had a few more matches behind her, either Eastbourne or whatever, like, yeah, she would have closed out that match, because like you said, she was up a break in each of the sets. I think she was like 5-2 up, I think, in the third. Like she had a good lead.
She served for it Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think she served for. Well, she served for it at some point.
She served exactly like she served for the match, but yeah, the lack of like match sharpness like cost her basically. So yeah, I think it's great that she's playing Toronto. Like you said, if she can play a few more tournaments leading into the US Open, listen, God knows what she can do like in New York.
Because the thing is, she was because that's the thing, like, you know, that's why I wasn't too hard on her. I was like, listen, for someone who's been out for a year, hasn't barely played any tournaments before, and the way that she was playing compared to the way she's been playing before she even took that year break, like she's moving her feet, like her feet were moving. She was trying to cover like the court. I was impressed. I didn't expect that. So that's why the only thing that hurt me, it was like, if you were prepped a little bit, you definitely would have backed this, because the way that she was playing, like I remember I told you even on the pod as well before, it's like I feel like this time she feels okay. Like I think
it's less
I don't
pressure.
know. Yeah, I don't like I think before there was just too much into her head. So maybe now she's just wondering, oh, do I actually want to keep on doing this or not? But the thing is that I feel like Serena is too competitive to quit to this quickly. I think eventually she might feel like, you know what, fuck it. But I feel like she is just too and the same as Venus, and I think that's why Venus was like, fuck it, let me go play. Do you get what I mean? Because they've been playing their entire life, and it's like, all right, my sister is there, I can go in anytime to Wimbledon, like I'm part of a member now as well. So it's like, fuck it, let me go. I feel like both of them are just too competitive to just be, and it's the same with all these big players. I think that's a difference between the old gen and the new gen, is that the level of competitiveness is very different, compared to the thingy.
That's a great point.
Look at Nadal. Nadal should have not been playing Wimbledon, not even yet alone that round. He should have not been playing Wimbledon. The last match that he played, his box, they kept on telling him, stop,
quit,
retire, like quit. Like his dad was looking at, like, wanted to cuss him out, like, what are you doing? Like, get out of that court. But he doesn't want to leave. It's the same with Novak. He doesn't want to leave. Same with Serena and Venus. Like, they're just too competitive. Like, I think that's the only thing. I think once the new gen gets that same level of competitiveness, that's it. But I think that's the one thing that's missing between that group and the other group.
That's a great point. Yeah, so shouts out to Venus.
She'll come back soon.
Shouts out to Venus and Jamie too. They did reach the second round, which I did think they were going to go deeper, but I mean, it's cool. Just seeing, like you said, Tumaini, like the Williams sisters back, like the buzz around the sport is just, it's a joke, like, because they are legends. So yeah, man, looking forward to seeing them in New York. I want to talk about Heather Watson as well, quickly, like breaking new ground. So she reached the round of 16, or the second week at a Grand Slam for the first time. And it was nice that she did that at Wimbledon, her home slam. I thought she played really well in the second round. So she had a really interesting run. Like, it was Korpatch in the first round that she beat in 3 sets, but that match was played over 2 days.
She has so many matches like that.
Same with exactly Wen Chiang as well. In the second round, that was a straight sets win, but again played over 2 days because of bad light. And then in the third round, it was a straight sets win against Cara Juvan, which I thought was the most impressive one, because that was a straight sets win. I want to say Juvan's like what, top 30, like, it's a good player.
A bit low, but she's a good, talented player, young player.
Like, yeah. So, and then obviously she just came up short against Jule Neymeyer, the German, who went on to the quarters. But yeah, like I really did like Heather's kind of not enthusiasm, but like it seems like her mindset's changed as well, because she said after that match against Neymeyer that, yeah, like she feels hungry, like to, you know, for more success basically, and she's capable of beating like the top players, which she's already said as well. And I don't think I did tweet this as well. Like, I don't think she gets enough credit in this country in terms of like just what she's achieved. And obviously she's not won a Grand Slam, and like, yeah, we all know. Just forgot her name for a minute there. Damn, Emma Raducanu. We all know what she did last year. And that's not a slight to her. I like Raducanu, but yeah.
But this is a Black Spin Global, but keep going.
But yeah, I've always thought that Watson is like almost overlooked by just, she's been a top 100 player for the past decade, and it's that's an achievement in itself. She's won 4 like WTA Tour titles. I think that's level with Joanna Konta, who's now retired as well. like Heather Watson is a solid tennis player, and like I think she needs to be celebrated more. And like, yeah, we're gonna do everything we can on this platform to make sure that happens. But yeah, Tumaini, what did you make of Watson's like run this year?
Yeah, well, she's actually I think another one of the players who really struggled. Like before COVID, I think Feb 2020 she won a title.
Yeah,
I think she won
in Mexico.
In Mexico, yeah. And then, like a few weeks later, the tour shut down, and then she went on, like coming back from COVID, like the run was she was barely winning matches, and that really like messed up like her trajectory. And but she always plays well at Wimbledon. Like for some reason, it's crazy. Like it's weird just how much the British players, like no matter like your game style, like they all do well on grass. And she's like been kind of like it's not like they grow up on it, although they might play on it more. But she's like kind of the best example of that. And she always, she's made a bunch of third rounds in the past, and just like she had a chance and this year, and she kind of, she was even injured, in the build up. I think she missed Birmingham.
Yeah, exactly. And,
but she came in and just did her thing. And
because even Eastbourne, she lost the first round.
But she always she often finds something at Wimbledon, and she did again this year. And even though there's no points and all of that stuff, like you would hope that will set her up well for the rest of the year, for her to be, trying to get back into the top 100 and top 50, and where I think she's more than capable of being, trying to win more of the smaller titles, more runs. I think she's a talented player. Like obviously against like Nima, like there are players who can kind of, just kind of hit her off the court or just overpower her. But like she's I don't know, I enjoy like her game, like when she's playing well and things are flowing, and like the way she times the ball and stuff. And so I think we'll see if this is like a turning point for her, like at this part of her career. She's now 30, which is mad. She's like she's been around. And but it was a good run, and just funny to see her. She's a lot of new blood and stuff, but at the end of the day, she was the British woman, left in the draw,
the last one standing. Exactly.
And
also she won the Junior US Open, didn't she? So she likes New York. I mean,
well, but that's the whole thing. Like I don't think she still hasn't ever passed the first round in New York.
I mean, yeah. So hopefully this year that changes. That changes this year. Lucy, any words on Watson?
Listen, I was super proud, super happy, especially that for me personally, because Eastbourne wasn't looking too great, I was a bit, skeptical and everything, but you could see that I think after that first win, she definitely had that push. But I do remember she had like an interview before when she won her last title, and she was saying how, listen, I don't have no crazy goal of winning a slam, but if I make it like even past like the fourth round or third round, blah blah blah, like I'm happy. I don't know if that goal is still the same, obviously, because that was 2 years ago or something like that. But I just hope that she's proud of herself for making it, that far. And like we said, the last British player that was standing there, like, man, I just wanted to keep on killing it. Like she has the skill, and just that's it. I just wanted to keep on going. But to go back to your point when you were saying that, you feel like she doesn't get her props and stuff. I feel like when it comes to women tennis players, especially like British women tennis players, they don't get props that much. Emma does, because obviously she won her slam. But like, I'll never forget when Jo Konta reached, like, she was the first to reach so far in like the French Open like 2 years ago, something like that.
Semi-finals.
Semi-finals. Bro, if I didn't watch tennis, I wouldn't have known about it. on the newspaper, it was literally, I'll never forget that day. It was like a small little square. It was just like, Jo Konta. And I was like, are you guys serious? I was like, okay. Do you get what I mean? So I think in like, tennis media in general just needs to do just like a better job, especially like for like the British players to get like not excluding you, Tumaini, of course. Like, come on. But I'm even talking about the actual, like the heads, the people who are making like the proper like decisions. Do you get what I mean? Like to actually give that exposure more into like the tennis and also women like tennis as well, and not only just when they're only winning. Do you get what I mean?
And at Wimbledon. Lucy, you're really in your journalism bag right now, man.
Gosh, come on, guys. Come on, soon there's somebody call me the mentor.
Well said. Just quickly, guys, because we've been on for a minute. Frances Tiafoe, again, he reached the round of 16. So again, first time for him at Wimbledon doing that. I thought, again, really good run in terms of the players he beat. So he beat Bublik in the third round, I want to say, which is a really good match. Just a high quality match. The second round match was very impressive against Maximilian, the German, Martara. Yeah.
That match, he was.
Frances hit 6 unforced errors all match in 3 sets. It was a straight sets win, but like,
it was crazy.
Lights out. And then in the round of 16, it was David Goffin. So the second slam in a row, it's David Goffin that's beaten him, which is annoying. But yeah, that was a classic 5-setter. Like he gave it his all as well. Like, and I was really, really proud to like just see the effort he put in.
That was so close.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough to see. I did also tweet. I don't know if you guys saw, but I hate I don't know, like it's like a negative reaction to like some of his losses sometimes in terms of like getting on his back. I really hate that. And I think that needs to stop, like just in general. And a lot of like tennis Twitter, black tennis Twitter, like they're guilty of that, which I really dislike. And now, listen, I called it out because I'm sick and tired of it, like real talk. And I think we as fans need to also put like ourselves in the players' shoes and in the, how must they be feeling like after a tight loss? Like, do you really think that they want to go out there and lose a match? Like, that's just ridiculous. So to kind of get on their back and say, oh yeah, like why is he going to a fourth? Why is he going to a fifth set? Like, bro, that's tennis. Like tennis, that's sport. Like, do you get me? Like,
I think, as fans, we're definitely guilty as putting too much of our emotions in it. I do agree that there's some people that are definitely do take like the piss, and not even just with Tiafoe, even with Serena. Like some of the tweets I'm reading, I'll be thinking, "Oh, you're actually a Serena fan," or like, "I don't understand."
Exactly. Like, who are you supporting? Exactly.
I don't get it, but I think now with that match, because it was so close, that people were just like, But at the same time, I was just so proud of him, man. Like, I'm just so happy that he made it like that far. Like he did say, like, especially after that, again, he was another player that lost the first round at Eastbourne. So like, I remember
we saw that shit.
We saw it.
But again, like I said again in the tweet, like coming into Wimbledon, he was 0 for 2 on the grass this year. And he did say to us, listen, I'm gonna be ready for Wimby. He said that to us in the DMs. I was like, listen, I hear you. Like, we see it. And he made the second week. So
he made, I just wish he just made it further to the second week.
I know. I really had good feelings about him as well.
Yeah, because when I saw his draw, I was like, guys, I think he might actually do this. Like, I think he might actually do this. The only one where I thought it was going to be tight was the one he actually lost. That's the funniest thing as well.
One thing because I love seeing his camp, like when his family are there. It's like he had his brother was in his box, his girlfriend too.
Shout out to the girlfriend.
Shouts out.
One fine woman. Your girl's a fine woman right there.
Oh yeah, and power couple, love that. But yeah, it's just always nice to see his box, like whenever his family like are in there. Like, I just love that. But yeah, Tumaini, what did you make of Tiafoe's run this year?
Yeah, like I watched his first loss at Queens with you, Eugene, and then I watched his loss at Eastbourne with Lucy, and he came into like it was not ideal, but he clearly, like, he switched it on at Wimbledon and played really well, and showed kind of his potential and what he can do. And like with him, I think it's just about like, it's, he's playing some really good tennis at times, but ideally it just, that he'll get to a point where he can bring it out week by week, and just take his chances when it comes about, because obviously he tends to, there are a lot of tight ones that, just a few points decide. But he played really well, and the Bublik match was really, really good, I thought. Like, I only watched bits of it, but I heard like how, Bublik was doing his whole like Kyrgios light, like,
exactly.
And it was like, I went to, like, I spoke to him in the press conference after, and he was like, oh, it was pissing me off, man, but he he kept it together and he won. He also mentioned, like, I asked him about the Bublik match, and he was straight up like, I did not give my best effort there, but but I brought it, like, I refreshed and came here, and so I thought he did very well, and like, let's see what he can do in the US. But yeah, I think it's like it's right there. Like, he if he can just be more consistent and keep on putting himself in these positions, and I mean, there's clearly, like, especially now on the ATP, like, there's room for a breakthrough.
100%. I'm gonna say it right now on this pod, right here, right now. He's winning a title this year. He's winning a title, hopefully before the US Open. But yeah, he's winning a title this year. Frances Tiafoe is winning. He's already been a finalist in Portugal.
True. Yeah.
So yeah, he's winning a title this year. Sorry, Lucy, continue.
Okay. Yeah. No, I feel like the only thing that's left for Tiafoe is, whenever I notice there's been a pattern of, like, when he's that close to win it, it just goes left. And I can't seem to figure out where, I don't know if it's a thing where he's so anxious or nervous or like, shit, I'm about to win, and then things, or like I don't know, maybe he's overthinking a bit, like when Ons was overthinking right before she was in a final set. So I've noticed, I feel like if he manages to, like, fix that, he's good.
Fascinating. No, yeah, I mean, that's a view. I hear you. I hear you. Lastly, Coco Gauff. So she reached the third round. I do want to give her some props. And it was Amanda Anisimova that she lost to, her fellow American compatriot, and that was a 3-set defeat for Gauff. But I did like that match in terms of, like, just, I think for the future that's going to be a nice kind of, like, battle between them. That's a nice rivalry I think we've got there. I like Anisimova in terms of, like, considering what she's been through, and she plays good tennis too. That's a real talent there. So I wasn't completely mad to see Anisimova beat Gauff. But I was impressed with Gauff's run. So in the first round, she beat Alina Gabriela Rus, the Romanian, but she came from a set down to win that first round match. And I just thought that showed a lot of grit, like, on Gauff's part. And then in the second round, it was a much more, like, straightforward win against Mihaela Băsescu, the Romanian. And that was on centre court, like, but it was just such a, like, business-like performance from Gauff in that second round match. And that kind of made me think, you know what, this girl she can go far. Like, I was putting a lot of pressure, like, on her, like, from my end. But yeah, like I said, she fell in the third round to Anisimova. She did also reach the semi-finals in the mixed doubles with Jack Sock. So fair play there, because one thing about Gauff, she's going to play her doubles. So it's that was nice to see. But yeah, what did you guys make?
No, sorry, I was just going to say, and she got that doubles partnership through Twitter. She put out a question. Yeah, she was like, "Who wants to play mixed doubles?" And she got one of the best doubles players, in the world.
Okay.
I didn't know that's how it started. Okay,
interesting. Because she didn't play women's doubles, did she? She just played mixed.
Yeah, because I think so. Pegula, she hadn't played any of the pre-Wimbledon events because her mum was sick. Her family's like billionaires, and her mum's quite. So her mum was sick, and so she wasn't sure if she was going to play Wimbledon, I think. Okay. So I guess that's why Coco played mixed doubles instead.
She basically didn't have the usual partners that she could play with. So Pegula, McNally, but yeah.
But yeah, what did you guys make of Coco's run to the third round?
Do you know what? Because I could see, I don't know if it was, obviously she was clearly a little bit tired from a crazy successful clay season. So when I was seeing her play at the beginning, I could see that it was going to be like she was playing. I was just proud with the fact that she always found a solution whenever she was, a little bit stuck with some of like the ways and stuff. So the fact that she made it to the third round to me was impressive. I wish she made it at least to the second round, but I think she did pretty well, like pretty good.
Second week, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I say?
It's the second round.
Sorry, second.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
I wish you made the second week, but to be honest, I don't know. There was one match. I can't remember which one it was. But it was one match where I thought she was going to like, I can't remember if it was the second or the first one. I think it was the first one.
It was
actually.
the first round, yeah. She was close to
losing.
Yeah.
She was close to losing. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so the first round, yeah. And then obviously the second round when she came up, like she played so, she played so much better. Like it was as if the first and stuff like, I think that's why I wasn't too upset, because it's like, for you to do such a huge improvement from that first round is amazing.
And on center court as well. Like it was it was a big moment.
Wish the people were hating, like, oh, why is Coco on center? Because she is.
Because she's a future champion.
Hello, because she is. Hello, I don't want to hear it. A lot of people were mad about that, but who cares? But yeah, man, like, I'm proud of her. I'm just looking forward to her for like the hard court season. I think, and plus she didn't play any grass tournaments, did she? No.
She played Berlin, I think.
Berlin. She played Berlin. She lost the first round, didn't she?
Lost to Jabeur at some point.
That's it. Yeah.
Who ended up winning the title anyways.
Yeah.
So she didn't really play a lot as well. So maybe it would have been different if she played. So I hope next year she actually gets to play more grass tournaments.
Come play Eastbourne.
Yeah.
So then, she'll be ready. I think if she played more grass tournaments, she'll probably be a little bit more ready. But
but like you said, again, she's coming off a long.
Yeah, exactly. She made it all the way to the finals.
Exactly.
Yeah, like runner up for both singles and doubles. Don't forget as well.
Facts.
So yeah. So shout out to her, man. Looking forward to her for hard court season again.
And Tumaini, last words on Coco.
Yeah, I think it was like overall the grass season was a good showing, like all of those like things considered, and like I think like in the end in that third round I think she was outplayed, and I think she's still young and will improve a lot. I think like Anisimova kind of just exposed her forehand a bit. Like Anisimova played really well and was just like crushing the ball and targeting her forehand, and she kind of got just stuck, like it wasn't doing any damage. And so I think that's obviously that has been and probably will be the shot that just is going to define like how high she goes, like how much she can improve her forehand, and she knows it, I think. So but like all in all, go on, sir.
No, I was gonna say she did hit the fastest serve as well.
Yeah.
Didn't she? Just mad.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So yeah, I think it was a good showing, and she's still continuing on the right path. So it's all good. She was also, was it in here? Yeah, it was at Wimbledon where she was that in the US the Supreme Court decision on abortion. And she after speaking out about gun control in Paris. Here she was like, she was very, exactly. She was very like, again, outspoken about it, and she was asked a lot of questions about it in press conferences and was direct. And I don't know, it's funny to see like also just like the contrast in generations. Like Serena was also asked about it, and she just didn't want to talk about it. And I think that's partly, I guess she's Jehovah's Witness. Partly, I think she just probably is kind of done with, I don't know, she probably doesn't want her words in the media anymore as much, But it's funny just to obviously like the kind of the younger generation who've been built, who've grown up on social media, and some of those people are, I don't know, just taught to.
But
I don't know.
Do you know what though? Is that we praise the young people talking about these things, right? Which is great, but I don't know. I feel some type of way with like expecting them to say something. So with Coco, for example, like everyone's like, I'll never forget when like the whole Black Lives Matter was happening thing, and like everyone was like, oh, it's so great that she's speaking up, and I'm like, At that time, she wasn't even 18. She was
I
like,
hated
what?
it.
She was like 16. And I'm like, this girl should be focusing on
Oh
tennis.
yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but I think it's also, I think the reason why as well with the younger generation, what the man talk about it more is because we're currently in this environment where if you don't speak up about what's going on, it means like you don't care.
Yeah.
Whereas the older gen, the luck that they had was they could just come, speak on tennis, focus on tennis, and go home. Whereas now that's part of your brand. And it's not even just for celebrity, even as normal human beings. If I even just come and meet a group of people, and if I don't for 1 minute talk about something political or something that's happening, they might look at me like, oh, you don't care. I'm like, no, I do care, but life's kicking my ass and I want to shake some ass. I'm not here to be talking up. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's, I'm not getting me wrong. I love the fact that, you know, our generation were more alert and were more careful and everything. Like, we're not being like, governments now can't come and just tell us rubbish and we say yes and keep quiet. Now we actually make some moves. But I think now it's gone to an extreme, to a point where it's no longer even about the cause, it's about who's making up bit of faith. And Wimbledon is a perfect example for that. I said it in the previous pod, like, it's just no one's actually even focusing on what the actual issue is, which is the war. You literally forget that there's a whole war between both of them. But right now it's all about making sure that I'm talking about Ukraine. I'm talking about, you know, what's happening in America. Like, it's great, but I just wish it wasn't really on her. And I hope that she's doing it because, you know, she feels that she has to speak on it, but not because it's like a thing where, if you don't, like, her age is not on her back, like, Coco, you have to speak on this because, you know, everyone's expecting. Do you get what I mean? So I think that's the difference between them as well.
I agree with you. Like, the Black Lives Matter thing, and I don't know, it did leave me some sort of way.
I didn't like it.
Yeah,
she was doing the whole speech and everything. I was
exactly.
like, someone get this little girl off the stage, please. Like, I was very annoyed. I did not like. And then you saw Chris Irvin, like, wow, what a powerful match! This is so great to see. I was like, no, it's not. This is actually fucking embarrassing. What's going on? Ridiculous.
No, I completely agree.
But I guess just what I guess with this, it does seem like that it's coming from her. And and that it's sincere, and I think she's like, even like forgetting about generation, she just seems to be different to people, to other people, you know, people in tennis. And, you know, it seems like she wants this to, like she said, like her being successful in tennis enables her to just gives her the platform to speak on things outside of tennis, and that's that is part of the motivation of her being successful. And if that's like what she wants to do, if that's her, then exactly, so I don't know, but it's so she's, I don't know, I like that. I also just like how we talked about this after French Open, just how mature how just I don't know, just how much perspective she seems to have, and that she's gained since even when she was 15. And I don't know, she's just like, she's like a bit like Coco, a bit like Ons, like she's good vibes. She's a good one of them. Exactly. You know, she's I just like Coco. I just like, as a person, even.
About to break into the top 10 as well. I think currently world number 11. So yeah, she's only going to continue to go up and up and up. So yeah, man, listen, shouts out to Coco every time. Guys, listen, we need to wrap because we've been going on for a minute. But yeah, just before we get on to the US hard courts, we've got more clay court tennis, which is just crazy. So this week, we've got Gstaad in Switzerland. So you've got Mikel Ymer playing Federico Delbonis in the first round, and big brother Elias Ymer, he's in qualifying. So hopefully he gets through in qualifying. In Palermo, we've got Jasmine Paolini, our Ghanaian Italian sister, or Italian Ghanaian sister. She plays Anna Carolina Schmidlova in the first round. And we've got Asia Mohammed playing qualifying in Palermo. So hopefully Mohammed gets through qualifying there. And I've got here Hamburg, Germany's Noah Akuge. I think that's how you say her name. She's 18, but yeah, she unfortunately lost in the second round of qualifying, but she could possibly get in the main draw, like via a lucky loser spot. So hopefully that might be the case. Before we close though, actually, I do want to shout out Paolini. So at Wimbledon, she played Petra Kvitova.
I was about to say that.
in the first round. Took her to 3 sets.
Listen, I actually think Petra went into that thing thinking, oh, this small girl, yeah, finish this. I honestly think so because Petra was moving hella like, and she just won Eastbourne. So thingy, so I think after that, like Petra actually looked pissed off and like rattled, like what the fuck is going on here? Like, why am I not winning this race? I really think she went in thinking, oh yeah, Paulina, she hasn't, I don't even know who that is. She hasn't played. Like, all right, let's go. And then she showed her pepper because I was even like, nah, she was looking rattled. She was not happy, boy.
But no, like Pauline, she did her thing. She's not had a great year this year. Obviously, she did beat what's her name?
Sabalenka,
of course, exactly, Sabalenka. And that was a massive win for Pauline.
Yeah,
so
it was.
Hopefully, like when she gets back on the US hard courts, like there'll be more of those kind of performances and wins.
But to be fair, she didn't play any. I really want to know why she didn't play any grass. I'm curious.
Grass court is very short though, isn't it? So a lot of players,
at least 1 or 2.
I know a lot of players don't like play warm-up events. And I think this year, because of the ranking thing, like it did probably put a lot of players off. So but yeah, guys, listen, man, thank you so much. Tumaini, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And yeah, Lucy, as always, thank you. No words. Just don't forget this is audio and video as well. So like
yeah, guys, obviously, thank you for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Looking for what's the next tournament? Oh, you said the clay thing, right?
Yeah, but then the US hard court doesn't start until like August. So we'll be back like around that kind of time.
Well, actually, it'll be Toronto and them.
Exactly. Yeah. So... I say US, North American. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, guys, until then, just keep abreast with everything on like our socials, so Twitter and Instagram. And we'll let you know like when the next pod will be, but it will be like before like the whole like North American like hard court swing. So until then, take care and enjoy all the tennis in between.
See, now I'm saying peace.
Cheers, guys.